all we got. If you study that word, now in history you can find some theories. Maybe it's connected to a guy named Nicholas or something like that, and maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. There's nothing certain in history that we can find about it. The only thing we know for certain is what the Scripture says about it, and that is the word itself. If you study the etymology of the word, you break it down, it comes from two roots. And if you look at those roots, it basically is the words clergy and laity. Nikos refers to like a ruling class, like a clergy. And laity, that's where we get the idea of a layman, somebody who's not in the ministry, they're like separate from the ministry, they just go to church. Laity literally just means the people. So, which is interesting, when we get to the church of the Laodiceans, it actually comes from the same root, like the Laodicean is like the people. So, you've got clergy, laity. That's it. That's all the clue that we've got as to the meaning of the word Nicolaitan. It's just the word itself. Personally, this is just my opinion, but personally, I believe God would have given us enough information to know what we need to know about it. And if all the information that we have is the word itself, then I believe that's all we need. So, what I believe we have here is really kind of only two possibilities. Either it's something that was eradicated and never showed up again, and so we don't need to know what it is, or I think more likely is it means what it says. Nico and laity, it's clergy laity. The doctrine, the idea that there is a division between those who are in clergy and those who are just the lay people. It's a very Catholic type of a system, and we're just about out of time. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut it down, and we'll pick up again, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to do it justice. But at this point here, just to kind of sum up to the point that we're at, this pastor lives in a place where Satan has chosen to dwell. He's been faithful to the faith, to the religion of the Lord. Hasn't denied the Lord in the face of great persecution, but he has not held the line as the pastor of the church and protected his flock from bad doctrine. He's allowed bad doctrine to get in there. He's allowed bad morals to get in there. There's fornication going on in his candlestick, in his church. And then you have this doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which is the only doctrine that Jesus ever actually came out and said, I hate. So I can only imagine what this man was feeling when he read the first part of chapter 2. And he got to verse 6, where the Lord blesses the pastor of Ephesus. This thou hast, and thou hatest the deeds of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. This pastor of Pergamos and some of the men of his church at that point had to go, we've got that here. The pastor of Ephesus had kept that doctrine out of the Ephesian church. It had overtaken the church in Pergamos. And so they had to know something was coming. By the time they got into the beginning of chapter 2, they had to know that there was a problem, because when the Lord said that to the pastor of Ephesus, he settled the debate on, is this right or is it wrong? This doctrine of the Nicolaitans, is it right or is it wrong? The pastor of Ephesians stood firm against it, wouldn't let it in the church. The pastor of Pergamos was like, either he agreed with it or he just permitted it, and he should not have done so. Okay, we're dismissed.